John Bell moved to Tennessee at the very beginning of the 19th century with his wife, Lucy, and children. Their new farm was in the quiet district of Robertson, on fertile land by the Red River. Bella soon became a respected family. They worked in the field, built the farm, and helped neighbors. The neighbors recalled, "John had a strong hand and a good heart. Lucy is an exemplary wife and mother. Their children always looked well-known, educated. It was a family with whom I wanted to be friends." It seemed that nothing foreshadowed trouble. But it is this family that will soon become the center of events that shocked the entire region. It all started with the little things. First, Bella began to hear scratching in the walls. John thought it was mice or raccoon. But when he put traps, they remained empty. Then death blows began to be heard in the house. Sometimes the sounds were like the knock of a hammer on a tree, sometimes to the steps of a heavy person. One night, Lucy woke up from a loud creak, as if someone invisible sat on the edge of her bed. But there was no one in the room. The children began to complain that their blankets were pulling in a dream. Once the youngest son said that he felt someone's cold hand touched his face. Betsy's daughter screamed at night. It seemed to her that someone was pulling her hair and whispers right in her ear. Bella tried to be silent about what was happening. At that time, such stories could cause ridicule or accusations of superstition. But with every week, the phenomena became worse. The rustle turned into words. At first, it was barely distinguishable phrases, as if from afar. Then, distinct voices. The voice called family members by names, laughed, sometimes repeated the words spoken in the afternoon behind them. Once, John Bell heard a female voice loudly said, "I'm here." Soon, the voice called himself, "My name is Kate. This name will become a curse for the family." The voice claimed that he was the spirit of a woman named Kate Batts, a former neighbor Belloff, with whom John once conflicted because of the earth. Allegedly, her soul returned to take revenge. Since then, the creature has been called the Witch Bell. Rumors about the Bell's house quickly spread. The neighbors came to check everything with their own eyes. Many heard voices, steps, laughter. Some said that they were pushed by an invisible force. In the district, real excitement began. People from all over America went to Tennessee to visit the Belloff farm. Newspapers wrote about this case. The most famous guest was General Andrew Jackson, the future president of the United States. He came with his detachment. The horses refused to go to the house, as if something had stopped them. And at night, one of the soldiers screamed. Someone grabbed him and hit him, although there was nobody nearby. Jackson said, "I have seen a lot, but here it happens that it is impossible to explain." The witch mocked Bella daily. She beat children, threw objects, broke furniture. Sometimes strange sounds appeared in the house, as if a heavy stone falls, although there was nothing. She was especially tormented by Betsy. The girl received scars and bruises after nights when her voice did not stop. The witch forbade her to meet her fiancé and threatened that she would kill him if the wedding would take place. Sometimes the witch predicted the future. She told the events that took place in other places, and they turned out to be true. Once she called the exact time of the return of her son Belloff from a trip for hundreds of kilometers. Rumors claimed that the spirit spoke of wars and even predicted the arrival of the railway. The main goal of the spirit was John Bell. The voice said, "I will not lag behind him until he leaves this world." Soon John began to hurt. His body was weak. He fell unconscious. Medicines did not help. In December 1820, he was found dead. On the nightstand next to the bed stood a bubble with unknown liquid. The family claimed that the witch laughed and shouted, "I did it!" After John's death, activity gradually subsided. Voices began to appear less and less. A few years later, they completely disappeared. But the legend remained. People spoke for a long time about rustling and shadows in the district. Today, next to the place where the Belli farm was standing, there is a witch cave. Tourists and researchers claim that steps and strange voices are still heard inside. Some say that they felt the touch of invisible power. The history of the Bell family is one of the most mysterious and documented paranormal events of America. Who was the witch? Evil spirit? Collective hallucination? Or by force that science is not yet able to explain? One thing is clear. This nightmare changed the life of a whole family and left a mark in history that has not disappeared 200 years.